Hi everyone. Hello. Hi. This is Nidhi from Shopmatic. Welcome to our Doers and Dreamers session. Hi Anch. Today we'll have with us Mr. Shailesh Patil, founder of Sense22Yoga. And just give me a minute. I'll just add him here. Stay tuned while he comes on live with us. Um, Hi Scorpion 369. Just stay tuned. Hi Shailesh.
Hi Nidhi,
So
how are you?
I'm good, so good to have you here finally. So glad you took out the time to make this live chat happen today.
Thanks so much for the invitation. Thanks so much for the platform, Nidhi. You guys are doing a great work, and pleasure to be with you all.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Shailesh, everybody wants to know about your entrepreneurial journey, how everything started. So tell us how it all started from Ivy League. Basically, you're from NCR, and then to working at top pharma companies of the country, to venturing into a complete, venturing into the world of fitness, yoga. So how did it all happen?
Yeah, so Nidhi, I'm definitely, in today's growing economy, this is one very pertinent question because everybody wants to set out on its own, take the opportunity that the economy offers you.
Right.
But all said and done, it's been a journey in a broad umbrella called healthcare. So even if I've been pharma or yoga or whatever, it just comes under healthcare. So the idea behind this company and me become an entrepreneur was during the COVID times when one of my close relatives was not well, and accessibility to physical consultation was also not there. And that was a point where I realized, that we require some infrastructure within us. What is it that within us which we can correct to, give you that health which you require, which you desire? And I've been doing yoga since my school days. So that is how my journey started. So first of all, let me, say or pay my deep respects to my guru, Nikam Guruji, way back in 87, 88, 89 when I was in school. Uh, he initiated me into the magical world of Hatha Yoga. And at that time, he was around 75. Today, that institute which he started is now around in 80 countries. So
Oh,
there are
wow.
certain things which happen in our life, and that is where I thought let me do that particular yoga practices, to my relatives. That's how it all started. And the first thing which came to my mind that you have to have a yoga mat, and that's where my journey
Hmm.
started. So entrepreneurship was always there, and of course, INSEAD was very big for me because it tends to give design to your ideas. And
Right.
what happened to me when I was in France as well as Singapore. And this is what happens. And I mean, and of course, my last company was Cipla, again healthcare. And these all companies are like institutions, and so you learn a lot of things being in those companies also. Yeah.
Right.
So that's how I
Okay.
started my entrepreneurial journey, and it's been now 2.5 years of Sense 22 Yoga, and has been a fabulous journey so far.
Right. We already have questions that have started pouring in. Someone's asking why the name Senses 22 Yoga.
Oh, lovely. So we all know that as human beings, as we move around in life, there are so many distractions, attractions, and we have a lot of senses, right? We are because of senses. I mean, the kind of nature, the joy which we experience, the sorrows, the touch, the sight, the smell, the temptations of adding the flab in our body and all. So the idea behind living a great, joyful, healthy life is how do you control the senses? I mean, as basic as something tastes good. So the idea, what happens normally is you tend to indulge, get more of those gulab jams or go more of those sweets. So if you can control
Yeah.
those senses, I think that's where the magic of life happens. You live longer, you live happier, you live lighter, right? And that's why the word Sense22 Yoga. And yoga is all about, how you channelize and control your senses. And
Yeah. Yeah.
22 years, it's a kind of an angelic number. You have in life some people who come to you, help you, take you to the next level. And that's the reason why the name is Sense 22 Yoga. Nidhi, a very,
Okay.
very nice. And there is
Very,
a
very
reason behind.
interesting. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, yes, Nidhi.
Yeah. No, no, that's amazing. That's a very thoughtful name that you have put for your brand. Also, Shailesh, I mean, like a lot of people think that yoga is just a type of a physical activity, to help you remain fit. But what's your take on this preconceived notion of yoga? What do you think?
I think during the COVID times, and since our Prime Minister declared yoga, the International Yoga Day, an unprecedented 177 countries joined, right, to
Yeah,
really support us. I think it belongs to all, even though the origination may be in India. And everybody has added something great to the art and science of yoga. And there is a very beautiful saying which says, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. Means whatever you do, do it with that intensity and that joy. That itself is yoga. I mean, you doing a interview or shop my day, or maybe you guys are not doing anything, or maybe there is a lady who comes and sweeps the floor of our office. Whatever it is, if you do that good, intense, and joyfully, dedicating it to the service of others, and that itself is yoga. So it doesn't mean
Be-
that you have to do asana, what you find on social media today. But
yeah,
being compassionate, being giving, doing your work the best, to give your best, that itself is yoga. And that has been documented in the Bhagavad Gita when Lord Krishna says, Yoga Karmasu Kaushala. So that's the, and yoga, asanas, of course, they are a part, it's kind of a body of yoga. But the basic thing, as entrepreneurs, and definitely I'll share some things for it, breathing, as basic as that, because we eat maybe a few kilos, or maybe we drink a few liters, but breathing,
yeah,
we breathe tons of air, and that's one element which we need to control. And that's why, I mean, yoga has gone beyond asanas. It's meditation, pranayama, thinking. I mean, there are a lot of principles of yoga where whatever you do, you have to sleep on time, get up during the best hours. So
yeah,
all this
yeah,
is, it's not
yeah,
only asanas.
yeah. So basically, being in the moment and making the most of that moment and being indifferent towards things is what I understand from yoga, right?
Yeah, correct. Because now there are terminologies like mindfulness and all. But whatever it is, the foundations are the yogic philosophy of being in the moment, enjoying the nature around you, being aware. And yogasanas,
Yeah,
breathing and all help you to identify that you have the powers to do that at every moment of time.
yeah, yeah. Right. Absolutely. Okay, very interesting. Shailesh, so when you started your business back in 2019, uh, what were the challenges that you had to overcome at the beginning of the journey? Tell us
Yeah.
more about
So
it.
yeah. See, I mean, the every business, every element, there are a lot of challenges. I think the most important thing which worked for me because of yoga, being a yoga practitioner, is that you have to have patience. You need
Absolutely.
to have a kind of sanity in what you're doing, because everything may not work the way you have planned. So I think yoga for entrepreneurs is maybe one of the next books. You don't know.
Oh,
So
oh
this is
wow.
very, because it's kind of documenting your journey, of entrepreneurship. And challenges is because during the early COVID times, we did not have access to the manufacturing side, the source of our products. And of course, the digital presence was very much crucial for us. And that's one of the biggest things which I did. And I was not on Instagram and all. Today I'm giving an interview on Instagram, to be very frank. But I think the minimum I had was a personal Facebook profile. But I
Yeah,
think all these aspects make you appreciate the kind of world which we are living in. It's full of opportunities. There are methods to reach the people who need your services. And I think as an entrepreneur, my journey, of course, the challenge was how to get on digital very fast, how to source the products. And I think more or less over the period, many things fall into place. And of course, if you do 10 things, 2 or 3 fail, 7 succeed. And I think that's what we have also seen. And it's
100%.
ahead for us all.
Right. Okay. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. So I think there are a couple of more questions coming from the audience. Okay. So one is, so someone's asking a very interesting question. Looks like yoga is more than just a business for you. Who introduced you to yoga, or was it just a divine intervention moment?
Yeah. So let me tell you one thing. That yoga was always there in me as a practitioner, because in my school days it was very novel, because there was a yoga school which opened up. Today there is a yoga school, yoga teacher everywhere.
Yeah.
So I have seen how in my hectic pharmaceutical sales career for 15-20 days I was traveling, I was eating food all around, but yoga taught me how to reset my body. So there is something called a nasal irrigation, neti, jala dhauti when there is acidity. These are all kriyas and processes which help you to reset your body next morning. Instead of taking antacids or getting into the bed, sleeping for long hours, and getting out of lethargy, because all those were taught to me by my guru, Nikam Guruji. And and let me tell you one thing. It used the word divinity. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of doctors when I interacted in my pharmaceutical career, when I was heading a project in Simla also. A lot of doctors said that something was not written in the books, but while I was operating, there was a very difficult situation. I did not know what to do. A
Yeah.
thought comes, I fix the right way or the right artery, the right way. So he says, I mean, this is divinity. So during the COVID times, I could have as well launched a pharmaceutical brand or a company, got into something more. But yoga was a spurt of a moment, and maybe there is a divine factor in what we do. See, a lot of entrepreneurs talked, there was a design, there was a plan, and etc. But I think this all happens when you are successful. But basically, there is a lot of intuitiveness which develops when you practice yoga. And this is very crucial as entrepreneurs, as any great employee, that whatever data you have, I mean, it doesn't work if you don't have that intuitiveness within you. And that is
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
think the design factor in my business. For me, it's more than a business. For me, it's creating impact. In fact, a lot of teachers who come to our studio, we donate a major part of our earnings from yoga classes to even the Art of Living Foundation. So
Oh,
this is how we trying to do a lot of things, even the community around us. So I think it should be a way of life. And if there is a marginal profitability in what we do, I think that works for us.
okay. Okay. Very nice. Very kind. Okay. Um, so also, Shailesh, I mean, of course, you do yoga seminars. You have collaborated with a couple of yoga instructors, do online seminars, etc. What else? I mean, what makes your business unique? Yeah.
Yeah, so here, first of all, I know since you talked about yoga instructors, let me express my deep gratitude to my team members. It's also, part of the challenges which we face to gather the like-minded yoga instructors. So I would like to, if you see my website, sense22yoga.com, which is built on Shopmatic platform, you will see our team, portfolio. So you will see some names, amazing people around me, fantastic, team members who explore life, explore yoga, beyond the skeleton of the yogic practices, and they have impacted hundreds and thousands of lives. So one is Aparna More, Alberto Menezes, Renu Dogra, and Sanjay Kumar Chaudhary, Madhav Dange. They're all my team members who stood by me in the last 2.5 years when we did corporate programs, or maybe teaching lessons on YouTube during the COVID times. All these fantastic people were around me. So this is one element which has made Sense22 very unique, because each
Yeah.
instructor has a different style of function.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
makes us unique, Nidhi, is that we are not only a yoga accessories company, but we see to that our accessories are eco-friendly. They motivate you to get on the mat every day, practice yoga every day. One. And anybody who buys our accessories, we also give a 40 minutes yoga session free. Okay,
Oh,
so the idea is not only a product, it's also a product plus solution. And that is where our team is doing an amazing job. And we are slowly venturing into a lot of tie-ups for our retreats. So the whole idea of a company which is in yoga is a kind of an end-to-end journey for anybody who is seeking that particular goal of fitness or health. And if yoga is the medium, can I give him an authentic way of embracing yoga? And that's the whole idea about Sense 22. And that is what
Wow.
sets me up.
That's beautiful. So I think okay. So someone's asking, okay, so we can find the yoga accessories and a free yoga class also on www.sense22yoga.com. That's right.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Also, you mentioned about the team, so I think kudos to the team. I think as an entrepreneur, we can't undermine the importance of a team. I mean, teamwork actually makes the dream work. So yeah, kudos to them as well. Um, okay, so talking about accessories, why don't you show some of your accessories to us? I saw some. I saw a very cool Bhagavad Gita, electronic Bhagavad Gita on your web store. So if it's an option, if you could show. Okay. So before you show, there's one more question. So people are going all gaga. By the way, Shailesh, they're like, wow, what a beautiful thought behind starting this thing. How does one begin the journey with you? What happens on day one? Ganga is asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Day one is where I chip in, and then on about instructors chip in. So what we do on day one is we try to understand the goal of any person who is seeking yoga or who has approached us. Here it's very important because he needs to know what he's signing up for. Right, that's very important. And it's very important that whatever we have gathered, the negatives or the positives, the flab in our body, it has not happened overnight, right? And it takes time for it to shed. I mean, as
Yeah.
simple as that. So I
Yeah.
think we want to set the expectations right, and we want to tell the day one the person that yoga is not only about asanas; it's about having proper food, proper sleep, and proper thoughts. These are the three foundations of great life. I mean, even if the thoughts are disturbed, your lot of toxins are released in the body. It affects certain organs, and a lot of diseases are manifestations of thoughts.
Yeah.
Even if you do yoga, you don't sleep on time, no therapy works. So I think we have lost. I mean, that's where we tend to tell the people who come to us that, I mean, there's also a beautiful book by very good living yogi Shri M. He says yoga also for the godless. So it doesn't mean that you have to have a god somewhere or somewhere. The idea is that can you search for that inner guru? Can you search for that thing which works for you the best? And our 3 months or 6 months of journey helps you to tap that element which works for you the best. So this is the first day where we talk about the importance of chanting, meditation, the Om, which today scientists have confirmed there is a cosmic hum around us, and how to recite that. Because we have lost those things today. I mean, we just have these cassettes and do it. But what's the right way? So the guru is very important in this, and a physical class works better. And of course, if there is a guru, not on a those kind of canned YouTube or canned WhatsApp forwards. So the day one is setting expectations. Day one is understanding what the seeker is seeking, and day one is all about what are the elements of yogic practice, right? So
Yeah.
this is very important.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, in today's times of instant gratification, like the millennials, the Gen Z, uh, all of us just want, like something quicker. So, what do you have to say to them in terms of yoga? Because, everybody wants to do, basically go on those fat diets, go to the gym, hit the gym. They want to do all of that. So, what actually, you know, uh, could motivate them to join yoga and make it a part of their lifestyle?
Right. So I think this is very very true because our attention span has reduced. There are so
Absolutely.
many distractions that we tend to be, and we are tempted to be part of everything what's happening in the universe. But I think that doesn't happen. We all know that. And whenever there is distractions, there is a quality of the work also suffers. So I believe that, I mean, everyone is unique, and everyone should seek what is best for him to work at peak productivity. And 30 minutes in a day, definitely, someone should take aside, whether it is for yoga or maybe any other fitness elements. But the idea is try out everything and create your own routine post 6 months. That is what I firmly believe, that you need to know. For example, its nature if your work is sitting. There may be some
Yeah.
asanas which work best for you. You are more of a
Yeah.
computer person, right? So there are some eye
Yeah.
asanas, Trata and all, which looks at that, beautiful Trata stand which is there on our website, where you look at a flame continuously, it improves your eyesight. So I think you pick up certain things after 6 months, okay, from a proper guru, and create your own 30 minutes routine. I would say that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have to change any personalities or something like that. We are just telling everybody to channelize and discover the energy within. And yoga has that particular tool which tells you what is that 30 minutes you need to do to reset yourself at peak productivity. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think we have a lot of questions still coming in. So, okay, very interesting. Are you working with terminally ill patients as well? And who can benefit from having a calm effect that yoga inculcates?
Right.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So I mentioned about a very great institute called S. Vyasa in Bangalore. And you
Yeah.
see that behind me is one which is from the S. Vyasa Institute. S. Vyasa Institute has been started by Dr. Nagendra, who was ex-NASA scientist. And he was a gold medalist from the Indian Institute of Science. He's one of the few engineers, of many, who are great yogis also. And there was a German guy who gave him a book, and later his life transformed. Today, it's a 127-acre deep university based out of Bangalore. They do a lot of this research as to how yoga therapy can help terminally ill patients. Uh, Unfortunately, the practice of medicine is working in silos. I am the firm believer, having worked in allopathy companies, medical companies, healthcare companies, practicing yoga myself. In fact, we have our parents who are have some kind of a comorbid conditions. That the
Yeah.
future has to be integrative medicine. Integrated medicine means a person who is practicing allopathy should also know what are the elements and dimensions of any holistic care which can accelerate healing. In fact, in oncology, besides chemotherapy, radiotherapy, are our cells ready to heal by themselves? We all know that there is healing which is self-healing. We all know that there are a lot of cellular processes which will help you to immune, and overcome a lot of diseases. So there are these sciences which are documented to help terminally ill patients overcome this terminal illness.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of documents published today from India, because today people require more proof rather than jumping into the water.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of beautiful documents. Even the best of the journals across the world have identified how terminally ill patients can be taken care of by beautiful yogic therapy, okay, which is known as therapy. There is something called yoga therapy. It's different from asanas. The yoga therapists, you won't find them doing shirsasana and asanas, but they will tell you the science behind everything. They will tell you which organ is working when I do a particular asana. There are a lot of breathing work itself which can reduce weight in a big way. Of course, everything requires patience. Everything requires kind of firm belief that this will help me and etc. But there are
Yeah.
beautiful yoga therapists and practitioners who can help yoga terminally ill patients. And in a lot of developed countries today, including Cleveland Clinic and a lot of those research institutions, yoga therapy is one of the most important departments in their integrated medicine uh, work. So I
Nice.
think the science is ours, but I think we are still asking for a lot of proofs. But I think we should embrace those in the interest of the patient, because no science is perfect, no therapy is perfect. It's all depends upon how to use it for the best interest of the patient. That's the reason why everything is growing. You see, even allopathy grows, yoga is growing, naturopathy is growing, Ayurveda is growing. The reason
Yeah.
is because no element of practice or science is perfect. It's all an integrated healthcare, and that's what's the future for mankind.
Yeah. Yeah. I think our ancestors have really worked, and we should actually, instead of sticking to these fads that keep coming every now and then, We should actually go back to the history and inculcate some of the values from there. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So yeah, before we forget, could you just show us some accessories, please? You told about the eco-friendly mats that you guys use, because I usually what I see is those plastic mats everywhere. So what is it that is different for you?
So, Nidhi, it's not only about accessories, you know that when we move on to a house, we all the home decor guys, right? We choose our clothes very carefully, so we look the best, right? I'm sure you must have prepared for this interview a lot.
Yeah.
Similarly, a yoga mat is one thing which is so crucial for anybody. When you're working in an office space, you're very conscious about the table height, your laptop height, the chair which you sit on. So yoga
Yeah.
mat is a piece of how you get centered, focus at a particular spot. And that is your asana, your seat, which has your energies. So that's very crucial. And it cannot be plastic. It cannot be something, which will hurt you. It cannot be allergic. It
Yeah.
should contribute to your yoga practice, motivate. And that's the reason we have very eco-friendly yoga mats. I'll show you a couple of them now.
Yeah.
And of course, we have exercise. Okay, the essence of yoga is three. One is your yoga mat has to be amazing. Your breathing and the spine. Okay, the spine is one which has to be super erect, and as long as it's erect, you will age well. Okay, and that's what a yoga mat should motivate. Okay, so I'll just show you for the first yoga mat which we have. Um, it's a beautiful yoga mat which is typically 6 mm. As yogis, there has to be a very beautiful cushion. The mat should understand you the way you have your beds, right? There are a lot of beds today which is memory foam and whatnot all.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
sleep,
Yeah.
great dreams for you and etc. But I
Yeah.
won't promise, but something which will help you to stay there for 1 hour. So this is a beautiful 6 mm mat. It has a lot of alignment markings. Now this has become very common. However, what's
Yeah.
important is feel of it. Okay, I'm sure you won't be able
Yeah.
to have a feel of it once you buy one of these,
Yeah,
but
yeah. No, no,
put
but I
it.
can see from here it looks very nice. And plus, as you mentioned, it's environmental friendly also, no plastic, nothing. So, uh, and it's very pretty also. The color, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the center there is a beautiful lotus. And when we talk about lotus, it talks about submitting yourself to the guru. And when you meditate, it's very important you're centered. And we talk about focus, right? Focusing on a thing. So that's what we
yeah.
have printed on. We have one more thing which is made up of cotton. So this is an amazing mat, and this also has alignment markings. It's also anti-skid. So this is all cotton, and there is an anti-skid element, so you don't skid. It's beautifully 6 feet long,
Okay.
and you see this white markings and all, right? So how you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
progress, and again, this also is an embroidered, beautiful lotus in the center, which will help you in your
Okay.
meditation practices.
Okay. I
Uh,
saw that in your logo also, on the web store. Yeah,
correct, correct, correct.
yeah,
And there are certain blocks, yoga blocks. I believe that this should be one of the basics when you do yoga, the yoga mat and the yoga blocks, because
yeah,
we get over, nowadays with the Instagram, people who do crazy asanas, and
yeah,
when we
yeah.
do that, turns and you may get injured because it doesn't happen in a day. They may be all gymnasts. I don't know whether they're yogis, but a yogi is one which can settle in a pose very easily. And these are
Yeah.
some amazing tools which help you to progress every day. This also helps you to motivate to be on the mat every day. That's very crucial because again you told people want quick fix things, they want and they lethargic. One day they do and second day they don't get results. But I think you need to create an environment. We also have beautiful meditation seats which are also used for work from home. And even if you doze off, you don't fall down. So there are certain beautiful elements, Nidhi, which will, help people to practice this beautiful inner engineering called yoga every
Yeah.
day.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. Um, okay. Also, Shailesh, while setting up your business, I mean, you must have, like, how did you start? You started with an offline journey, an online journey. How did you actually start? If you could tell us a little more about it.
Yeah. So the first thing was I was very clear from day one that we have to be online. There was no doubt about it. And these are amazing days of DIY, do it yourself. And even though I was a brick and mortar person, I was in sales, marketing, pharma, being with the doctors and all.
Yeah.
And and getting a credible partner for your web development and IT is always a kind of a task, because they don't have any rack rates. So that's where I stumbled upon Shopmatic, to be very frank. And I realized that I could do it. And I did set up the basic stuff myself. And I think the integration was very smooth. I mean, we don't have those kind of stricter rules as you find in the bigger e-commerce companies. But this was something very accessible, something which was very doable, and something. I mean, it was kind of you can say a very simple software to be on board, and this helps for your promotion. So even if you are working offline, having an online presence which is credible, which completes the loop of searching and buying, I think that matters a lot. And I think Shopmatic has been kind of 2 years, so we are happy.
Oh, we are very glad to hear, and I think that is the whole idea, basically, big, small, anything to enable businesses online. That's our idea, and I don't think any business in today's time can do without being online, even if they are an offline store or anything. As you mentioned, I don't think we can do without online. So I'm so glad to hear, Shailesh. Thank you so much. Okay.
So this is just advertising, but we are very clear, because we add at least 2-3 products every month, and I think the way to do it very easily, very simple, not being overwhelmed. I think this is a great platform to be on.
I'm so glad to hear. Thank you so much. Also, I mean, any quick yoga hacks, or that people can so everybody's, like, most people even today are working from home. So any quick hacks that the audience can incorporate in their everyday life, if there's something that you can like, tell us.
Yes. So Nidhi, I don't know whether there are quick hacks or on. We all know certain asanas and certain practices which are very crucial. And I think you also mentioned about the Bhagavad Gita. So I would like to link that premise with this particular question of yours. So we tied up with a company called Shimaru, and I have a good friend who Shimaru sales in India called Varun. And everyone has to, whoever is listening, that yoga, I mean the Bhagavad Gita, which is also known as a song of God. Song of God, it's not a prose. So it's a poetry. And the Bhagavad Gita is also a book of yoga. So when you see about 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, each chapter ends with the word yoga. And so the first word is the Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the illusion of Arjuna. And if you see the word, people who are management graduates or who are in corporates, or many entrepreneurs, they're always confused. And many people feel, that confusion is not a good state to be in. But I personally believe sometimes confusion is very important, because Bhagavad Gita was always there with Shri Krishna. But he delivered it when Arjuna things reached here. And that is where you can clearly understand what is Bhagavad Gita. And there are so many reasons, because it's a poetry, it's not a prose. And why I'm saying so is because it's important for everybody who is understanding yoga that Bhagavad Gita is also a book of yoga. And the modern practices of karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, right? The elements of different yoga, I mean, being focused, devotion, and etc. All management terminologies have come from, been inspired by the Bhagavad Gita. One big important thing is that Bhagavad Gita was narrated on a battlefield, not in a cave or an ashram. Everybody today has the challenges. We're all working in a battlefield. So there cannot be any bigger practical book than the Bhagavad Gita. And that's the reason why we wanted a Bhagavad Gita, which was easily accessible, where you did not wear a specs and read it for long. And there are certain times of the day, around 6:37, as per the whatever practices and ancient knowledge, it's a kind gloomy. When you put up this Bhagavad Gita on to around 6:20 plus for another hour, it kind of energizes the environment around you. And that's why you see there are a lot of satsangs, temple prayers used to happen around 6:27. Because that was the
Yeah.
time, as per all spiritual practices, it's a gloomy period, where we feel drained out. We feel, what have I done during the day? And I think this is also part of yogic practice, where if you want to energize yourself, the environment around, our Bhagavad Gita, which is in partnership with Shimaru, gives it a remote control, a kind of Bluetooth device, which helps you to lift. And the beautiful part about this Bhagavad Gita product is it has specific chapters on meditation, anger, patience. It's in Sanskrit, Hindi, and English. There are translations sung by one of the best, like Suresh Wadkar and Rathod, the greats of the singers. So this book makes things accessible, and that's what I wanted to tell about the Bhagavad Gita. Now coming to the quick fix things, Nidhi, which you asked me, I want to tell there are some things, some asanas. Of course, you have to spend about 30 minutes apart. One is there is a beautiful word in Sanskrit which says dinacharya, how you start your day. We talk about the morning routines, but morning routine is two words. Dinacharya is a very huge word. It's like getting up at 30. For that, you have to sleep at 10, 10:30. Okay, rather than the endless browsing of Instagrams, better hit the bed.
Yeah, consuming mindless content throughout. Yes.
Yeah.
I
So I
resonate
think
with that thought.
as you get up, you need to have certain yogic or ayurvedic practices, as salt water gargling, brushing, cleaning of your tongue. So this is very basic. It's not a special thing. Earlier times, every household had this. And of course, there is a
Yeah.
nasal irrigation neti, which if you have a yogic practitioner around, I would suggest be there, because we are living in a polluted, work in progress country. So we require to keep our sinuses clear, and also being air conditioned, right?
Yeah.
And of course, is have ample water. So start your day with a good, great, warm water, which will stimulate your appetite. That's very important to enjoy your breakfast. And once you have those energizing breakfast, there are a number of things which people can seek from the genuine nutrition, is what to eat, what not to eat. It all depends on the body. But yes, if you can do Surya Namaskar, that is one asana. It's not part of a yogic book. It's been practiced by someone, Ramdas in Maharashtra. He gave this tool of Surya Namaskar to a lot of warriors, including our Maharaj Chhatrapati Shivaji. And this Surya Namaskar, if you do, it actually activates all your body parts. So basically, that's very, very. Another is have at least one massage, of your body every month, right? And if you have your eyes, which is very, very crucial, eyesight, see to that you roll every time up and down, okay, and then press it so hard, and see to that you're doing it every 15-20 minutes or maybe even an hour, so that it cools your eyes. And if you are sitting on a chair, there are certain cat cow pose, because a lot of the yoga asanas have been inspired by nature, because our Rishi Munis used to see in the Himalayas, used to see those nature around, and that's been inspired. So the cat cow pose is a very important to take care of your back, and have a nice walk post your dinner. This actually helps you. Don't hit the bed so soon. Have your food early, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and have a nice walk. I think these are some basic things which everybody should do. And I think that's how, not only the asana, but how do you start your day. That's very, very crucial. And if you do this basic asanas, and the most important part is 5 times in a day. If you're just conscious about your breathing, okay, stop, leave them, do it 5 times, hold as much as you can with your spine erect. That's very, very important. Don't be slouching. Hold and leave it very slowly.
Nice.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Even if you can do it now. Let's take a deep breath. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leave.
Yeah.
What happens is all distractions, thoughts vanish. Okay? And always have a nice, beautiful smile on your face. That helps. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Thank you so much for the wonderful hacks. I think I loved how you went beyond yoga and you know, like told us simple things that anybody and everybody can incorporate in their everyday life. And I mean, uh, I mean that's just wonderful to hear. We have a question from the audience, which is, please tell us breathing exercises that can help reduce weight. I think,
Okay. Uh, when I said breathing exercises helping you reduce weight, uh, it's just being, conscious about where you are and what you are doing. Many times when we are in a hurry, when we are, really doing having food and also watching a television. I think these are some basic, super wrong things which we are doing every day. If you are eating, eat, because it is, in our culture, we talk about the Annapurna Devi. When the food sometimes is good, sometimes is not good. When the
yeah,
mother cooks or we cook sometimes, if you do it with love, I think the love translates into nutrition in your body. And that
yeah,
is why one of the best nutritionists across the world, everybody, they say a prayer before eating. So
yeah,
when you're talking about breathing, the foundation of breathing is being conscious of whatever you're doing. The minute you're not conscious about what you're doing, you tend to maybe eat what your body may not require. You tend to eat something which is more than what your body requires, or you will not eat what your body requires.
yeah,
Okay, so breathing is so basic that I would suggest that if the food is in front of you, how much portions you are taking, what portions you are picking up. I think that's very, very crucial. How your plate looks. Your actually plate should look like a rainbow. And when you breathe, what happens is you eat consciously. And that is why I said when breathing reduces weight,
yeah,
because
yeah.
we are not breathing properly. That's why in Mumbai, you see instead of one vada pav, you tend to eat two vada pavs and then you regret. Okay, can I take a pause? Because if you see every electronic instrument, Nidhi, you see there is a play button, and in that play button itself, there is a pause button, right? Those two marks. Pause button is not a separate button. Our life is our play our play button and the pause button. The pause button is nothing but our breathing. We need to know when to stop, when to take that rest.
Yeah.
And that's what breathing helps. When you're also sleeping, there is something called nidra, yoga nidra, how you get into sleep. And that's also a very beautiful practice of proper breathing. Thinking about how your each point is getting relaxed, and within no time you're sleeping. A sound sleep, proper food, and thinking are the three elements of how the goals of health can be achieved.
Nice, nice. Thank you so much. I mean, that's a very nice, insightful tip. Uh, she says thank you also. She's very happy to know about this tip. Okay. Uh, all right. By any chance, do you have the Bhagavad Gita? Because it's an audio Bhagavad Gita, and you don't have to
So this
read
is
it. You can just listen to it. So it's a very interesting thing. Oh wow.
it's very
Yeah,
beautiful. It's amazing. It changes the colors also,
yeah. I
and
saw it on
when
your
you are
web store, and I was pretty intrigued by it.
yeah, yeah. So I'll just put
Okay.
it on if you want. This is one of our good products.
Okay, so people can just listen to it on the go. They don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Krishna, anger,
Nice. Oh, wow.
Anger, ladder of downfall.
Okay. So you see, it's a very
Amazing,
beautiful
amazing.
book. It
Yeah,
explains
yeah.
in a very nice voice. So just close your eyes and listen, and understand those elements of the great song of God, and I think a lot of things will get resolved. So
Yeah,
that's why
amazing.
kind of 3 months, 6 months, pick up some elements which you like, and I think that will fix the things in life, whatever you're looking for.
Uh, uh, nice. Okay, amazing. I think everybody can find it on the web store. Somebody was asking also, and I sent the link.
Do
It's
yoga.
www.sense20yoga.com, right? Okay. Okay. Amazing. I think one last like question. what advice would you give to the entrepreneurs out there, when they're starting their journey? What is one thing that they should definitely do? Maybe something that you can cite from the Bhagavad Gita, or otherwise also from your own experience, anything.
Yeah, for me, it's a long way to go. But what matters is we all know a good team, and never feel helpless at any point of time in life. That's very critical because there is some solution lurking around. Just need to take a pause and see what best works for you. And whatever comes your way, embrace it with joy and compassion. Okay, because someone has something to seek, and have patience, and have developed that intuitiveness. And even if there is a failure, you need to know how to get up and see what best can be done. So I think the most important is never feeling helpless at any point of time. So this is very, very crucial, because if your intentions are great, if your work you're doing, if it's creating an impact around you, I'm sure there is a universal law which helps you to progress. And a lot of times will be there where they test you. For example, when we opened our studio, initially we did not have much response. There were a lot of things going on, how soon, how fast. I said, let's take some time, because if you look at the great companies, organizations, they're not built in a day. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I think, and today we are doing amazingly well. We have completed a year of our studio, and everything takes time. I think that's what yoga also taught me, that the patience, understanding how to get up, and getting those solutions, getting those intuitiveness, energizing yourself when you're down, being with people who will energize you, that everything, all those things are part of the learnings.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
beauty, I mean, that's what Bhagavad Gita says. And a lot of those delusions, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the first chapter, comes to my mind. And then all the solutions open up.
Nice, nice. Thank you so much. I think this has been a very insightful live chat, I'm sure, for me and for the audience that we have. Everybody has enjoyed thoroughly. One person has commented, orders coming your way. Please share the URL. Amazing.
Okay.
So guys, if there's anything, accessories, yoga accessories, eco-friendly mats, niti pots, we have everything on the web store. You can simply log on, go on to Sense22Yoga.com. I've put the URL also. But there's another customer also is already put. Oh, amazing. They've already looked you up online, and they are only texting the URL. Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shailesh. Thank you so much for your time. It was amazing having you here. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much. There is one beautiful Shanti mantra which I want to share.
Okay.
The Shanti mantra is, be with me. Purnamidam, Purnamadah, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This mantra is about that completeness which created me and you. That completeness is also within us. And the idea is to discover that and move forward.
Okay.
Hari Om.
Namaste. Okay. Thank you so much, Shailesh. Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for joining us, guys.